What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Nick with Leverage Media, and wanted to shoot this video to talk about the biggest mistake I see that chiropractors make when they are building out a new website. Whether you're starting out brand new and it's your first website, or whether you're moving from one site to another, or you're overhauling your existing site, whenever you're in that stage, it can feel like a lot. It can feel overwhelming, especially if you're not super tech savvy. And sometimes I think chiropractors get a little bit lost in the weeds on, plugins and gadgets and how things look. And the biggest mistake that I see them making is not having a plan going into the build. So you've probably heard me talk a lot about this book over here. Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. And the reason why I like being a certified guide in the story brand process is because it gives me a absolute structure and a plan to helping people, like taking somebody from a complete stranger. I don't know them from Adam, or I don't know anything about their practice. And within, a couple of hours, I have a very clear understanding of what their practice is all about, who they're looking to serve, what makes them unique in their marketplace. And all I have to do is follow the steps and walk them through the process. Then when it comes time to wireframe out the website and, build that rough draft and that first version of it, is take that framework that we call the SB7 framework, because there's 7 parts to it. But we take that framework and we take pieces out, and we're using them in different areas of the website. But everything is strategic. All the words on the page are laid out in a certain way. All of the words are picked carefully. The way, and basically what I tell people when we're going through the process is, I'm here to be the guardrails, and I'm here to be devil's advocate if I think that something may sound better. Because usually, like when I'm going through this, I can usually check or guess what the answer is going to be, before they give it to me, because I've done enough of them now. But I want it to be in their words, their language, the analogies they use, or the way they explain things. It's just, there's little unique things that come up like throughout the process that I would never have thought of to say it that way, but it works out, obviously better because it's, from their heart. So, when you have that framework and you've gotten those words that they really like to use, you can have a theme throughout the site, and all the words matter, all the pages matter, all the pages are intentional. Like there's a purpose to them. Like if we're going to put a page on a website, there's going to be a reason why it's there, not just because, it looks nice, or that, that chiropractors think that it's a good idea, because it doesn't have anything to do about what we think is a good idea. It matters what our potential patients think is a good idea. So, whatever process you follow, it's just really important to spend the time to map out what the structure of the page is going to, the site is going to look like. And if that page does not move the ball forward to getting a visitor into the office, then you don't need it. So every page should serve a purpose, and all the words should be, really representative of what your brand's all about. I just did a story brand site with a guy that just doesn't have like a normal chiropractic office, and he has a very specific way of talking about things, and it actually turned out to be one of the best frameworks that I've done. And going in, I thought it was going to be more difficult, just because it seemed like it was a little bit all over the place when we started. But by the end of it, we had really distilled it down to the things that really mattered to him, the messaging that really mattered, who he wanted to be speaking to. And without that framework, without that process, we would have never gotten to that end result. And now that we're building out the site, it's becoming a lot easier to do that now that we've gone through that process. So whether you use StoryBrand or not, I'm sure that there's lots of processes to getting your story of your practice and of you out of you, and then getting it down onto paper and then eventually onto a website. But just make sure that you're spending the time ahead of whether you're building it from scratch or whether you're using one of these chiropractic in a box websites. Be sure that you are very involved in the laying out of the website and the words that are going on the page, because you're going to be judged by what's on that website. And I think too many times people sign up for these websites that they can just turn them on with a switch. You fill out a form and they're up in 7 days. Too many times those sites go up and there's dozens and dozens of pages on there, and the chiropractor may never look at some of them. And some of I've seen some information on some of these condition pages that I don't think that the chiropractors that have these websites know that the information that's being said, like, it's very medically minded, and it just seems like sometimes they just grab information from elsewhere in the internet, probably change it up a little bit so it doesn't get hit with any plagiarism filters. But it's definitely not like you can tell that the doctor isn't the one that sat down and slaved over that paragraph or that page. So it's too important at this point to have a website that is just outsourced and that you don't have your hands in. So I think it's really important for you to be involved in every single page and really every single word. But they can get you started. These website companies, they can get you started, but you really need to make sure that you optimize the way that it's said so that it represents who you are and what your practice is all about. So if you're in that process, I know it can be overwhelming, but the more structure you have to it, the more you think about what is the purpose of all of this, the easier it becomes. So hope that helps. If you are in the build process, good luck. If you're looking to start to get a new website, maybe a little bit more custom, more to your representing your brand, be happy to help. Just give me a shout, however you get a hold of me, and we can talk a little bit more about StoryBrand. So we'll talk to you on the next one. Hope you're having a good day.